Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live and in effect for the Micheaux Film Festival 2025,
Whoop, whoop.
Season 7. And today I am joined by none other than Courtney L. Branch, co founder of the Micheaux Film Festival. And just let me say, ladies and gentlemen, if you have never attended the Micheaux Film Festival,
Missing
I
out.
highly recommend
Missing out.
that you get on a plane to LA.
Unless you live in LA.
Unless you live in LA, and that makes it even better. If you're in LA the 23rd through the 27th
Thanks.
of October, which is in less than 2 weeks. And I'm telling you, listen, I've been to two. I'm going to be attending this one as well, along with my amazing co-host Okema T. And I'm gonna tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best film festivals I have ever attended, and I've been to quite a few. And the number one reason in my book that it's one of the best film festivals that I've ever attended is because, as I've told Courtney and Noel, when you go to their festival, it feels like family. I've been to a lot of film festivals, but this one feels like family. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a conversation with. I'm your humble host, Floyd Marshall Jr. I am joined, as always, by my amazing co host, Akima T. Moore, and the co founder of the Micheaux Film Festival, Courtney L. Branch. Welcome back to a conversation with Courtney. How are you? How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to be back. Thank you guys for having me again.
Yes, yes. We are super excited to have you. I agree with Floyd. If you haven't been to a Micheaux Film Festival, you are missing out. You guys have built such a following, such a brand trust, such a kind of expansion in such a small point of time in comparison to the legacy festivals that are out there that have been building for literally decades. You guys have covered that ground, have covered a lot of that ground in a very, very small amount of time. And we are so proud of you as a filmmaker who has shown in your festival, I think about 4 or so times now. I am always excited to have my work in the festival. Like, it is definitely the festival that all the Black filmmakers, because once you start, the season usually starts with ABFF. So by the time we get into the fall, we're all friends now. Because most of us have been on the festival circuit and in the same festivals with each other this whole time. And so now we're just family. Now we're like, oh, did you get into this show? Did you get? So like everybody was waiting. So then all you see in our little group chats is, I got in, I got in, I got in, I didn't get in. It's okay, it's okay. Are you coming anyway? Come anyway. Are you? So like it's one of those festivals where even if you don't get in, while you do feel disappointment, and I mean y'all only got but so much time. Everybody's not gonna get in, right? That's just the game, the numbers game of the festival. But it's one of those festivals where even if you don't get in, you gotta come anyway. Now you gotta pay, but you gotta come anyway. So buy your ticket early so it's cheaper, but you gotta come anyway.
Yes, you got to be in the building.
Right, because you also may learn something that'll give you an inkling to what could give you a leg up next year.
Absolutely.
Right. And so we're so proud of you. I think Noel is dialing in.
Yeah, he's here, but
I see he's not, his camera's not up yet, but we have Noel as well.
For some reason.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but in the meantime, Courtney, talk to us about the fact that you guys started in 2018, right before, so just before the pandemic.
Right before.
And the growth that you've had, pandemic aside. Hey, Noel.
Hey.
Yes, we were just bragging on how you guys have grown so much in such a short time. So for the both of you, you started in 2018, 2 years before the pandemic, whereas the pandemic brought the demise of a lot of organizations, festivals, all the things. Talk to us about the growth that Micheaux has had. And like, I almost say, I don't need to ask Noel if he thought it was going to happen, because I know how Noel's brain works and I know how Noel's faith works. So I already know the answer is yes. Courtney, did you wanted it, but did you see it?
That's such a great question. And first and foremost, thank you guys so much for all the kind words. That really means so much. I just love the praise that you bestow on the festival and our team. It means a lot. But I mean, that first year we were just throwing a little bit for the community. And then the next year came around and people started asking when's the next one. And so we did a next one. And that's when I realized, I was like, okay, we've got something here. This is bigger than what we thought it was going to be, which was just a short film series. We screened 13 projects, about a 2-hour program total. And then we had a little mixer after. And I think I like to say that, that first year we sold out twice, because as soon as people left, more people came in. And now our, kickoff mixer sells, double than what that first year brought in. So it's pretty crazy just to see the growth. And it's one of those things where, for a lot of people on the outside, it looks like it happened overnight, but being on the inside and just being able to see the incremental growth, going from those 250 people to now it's 250 people per screening or per block. Like that's just, it's a crazy
because
feeling.
if you don't get in line for what you want to see early, you might don't see it.
Might not make it.
You might don't make it, or you might be like in church and be in like some overflow room or
in the overflow.
You might be in the overflow room. You're not gonna be in the main sanctuary.
Well, see, you would be if you got you a VIP pass.
See, there you go.
Too, because baby, let me tell you, my writer producer has been over our screenings and things, so he took the initial pass. But baby, as soon as I saw that one companion I was like, oh. Got it. I'm the director. Y'all not gonna tell me I ain't gonna be there.
Look, I got my VIP pass back in June. As soon as them bad boys went on sale, I'm like, look, let me get this thing right now because I want to look important. I want to look important.
Yours and a few other like big legacy festivals, you better get them passes early while they are not rent payments.
Yeah,
like festival passes be rent.
And
they
I
do.
know we have a list of questions, but you know what? I want to speak to that because again, I've been to a lot of festivals, and when you're talking about the VIP pass, now there are some festivals that are amazing that I'm not going to name because I'm not trying to throw any shade at them, but they run 2 to 3 times what you guys VIP.
That's not enough. And their VIP pass without a discount is still literally about a 1/6 to an 1/8 of what a standard VIP pass is for a festival of the same length. And let's be real, the same ilk. Because the same level of people, whether it's industry expert, celebrity, social media influencer, the same people, how do kids do it? The same people and the same ilk of folk and the same level of represented industry folk be at Micheaux that be at the $1,500 VIP pass place. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. And no shame to anybody. You've been around 25, 30 years. You know what? People gonna pay $15,000 to go to your joint. I get it. But baby, that 300 is nice. Because you still got to, most of us still got to get on a plane, got to find somewhere to be, need to eat. Like, shout out because y'all actually be having food at your mixers during the festival and not just beverages for sale.
Yes.
Like y'all actually have food. Like I can actually go there and replenish myself.
I mean, and that's one of the things that, we just try to, we're filmmakers ourselves. So we've been to film festivals, we've gone to all of the things. So a lot of times we ask ourselves like, okay, well, if we were attending just as filmmakers, what would we want to see? What would we want to have access to? How much would we be willing to spend on a VIP pass? I think that is one of those things that is important that also keeps us connected to just the indie community. Because at the end of the day, like, celebrity is great, famous people are great, all of that is amazing, but we really aim to serve the indie filmmaker. And I think it's very hard to say you serve the indie filmmaker when your prices aren't accessible for the indie filmmaker.
Babe, so say it again for the festivals in the back.
Yeah.
Say it.
I'm not going to do that, Okema. I'm not going to do that.
You said it once. It was enough. That's all right. Okay, so to get out of sticky territory, because we're also not here to compare. Like everybody brings their own value to their business and their organization, and people get thing, you know, we are blessed as filmmakers, indie filmmakers, to get different things from different places, but they all add to our toolkits, right? And that's what these festivals are about: to show your work, to feel seen and heard, to make an impact, and also to take something in your pocket with you when you go. Now, since we're talking about coming out and playing, Noel, this year's theme is Warriors. Talk to us about it.
Well, you know, every year we roll out a different theme that speaks.
Yeah, because I will never forget standing there watching you with your things as the traffic controller, the air traffic controller.
With outliers. And you know, each year we want to create a theme that speaks to not only the times, you know, that we're in, but also the creator class. And, you know, we read the filmmakers' backgrounds when they submit their projects, and we collect certain data and information that gives us insight into our audience and the artists, and what have they been through, or what are they going through, and the challenges that they're facing in order to get their project done. You know, and with last year looking at the theme of warriors, and then saying to ourselves, knowing what the industry is going through, seeing the economic times people are in. You know, we're in an entertainment recession in Los Angeles, facing so much trials. And we also have seen and noticed just the export of how there's so much money being dumped into New York. There's a lot of money being dumped.
Maybe I live here. It's not that much money being dumped into New York.
Well, from LA though, these companies that have budgets, they're spending more potentially in New York, especially when it comes to the festival scene. So I don't mind us burning the boats if y'all want to have a conversation about burning some boats. Because when you look at the money going to, let's say, Telluride or Venice or Miami, I don't think that we're doing a great job of cultivating and putting more economic support here within Los Angeles. And even in light of those challenges and the problems we're facing, which is from our own decisions and actions, our creators are still triumphant. And that speaks to not only the mindset, the spirit, but also the perseverance that they've had to deploy and go through. And that's a warrior. A warrior is someone who, even in light of mountains that I'm going up against, I still have the faith to go and to conquer that mountain. And even if I face certain challenges, I don't care what those challenges present, because I know I'm still going to accomplish my goal regardless of the setbacks and the difficulties. And that's a warrior's mindset.
That's beautiful. And red carpet reporter Tanisha Laverne Grant put up a post on Facebook last night about an article that she saw in the Wall Street Journal, and how devastated LA is as far as the industry. And the numbers, I wish I had the article with me. The numbers were staggering. And, you know, I'm just sitting there wondering exactly how is the industry supposed to survive when they're talking about 43% of the people are unemployed? You know, how does that look? And then with the advent of AI, and they're talking about, you know, slashing more jobs because, hey, we don't need people, AI can do it. So with all of that, and the fact that, you know, and we're going to, and there's another question that I want to ask you that's tied to Warrior, but we'll get to that. But with everything that's going on, and as you said, Mr. Braham, with how in flux the industry is, how are you and Courtney able to stay on focus with everything that's going on and all the roadblocks, especially with the way things are going in certain portions of society, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue? How are you guys able to stay focused and to actually have a festival this year with the amount of roadblocks that have been put in place?
Prayer and cutting out the noise. You know, prayer and cutting out the noise. And its short answer. And I would say that, you know, we started a campaign called the M250. You know, earlier this year, I reached out to certain leaders within our community, letting them know about the challenges the festivals face, and then asking them to really get behind Micheaux, not only because of the longstanding history of who Oscar was, you know, as an independent writer, director, producer, and distributor who released over 44 feature films independently, not even just because of what Courtney and I have sacrificed to get the festival to where it is, but most importantly, because of the community. The currency and the value in Los Angeles and anywhere in this world will always lie within the community. In my opinion, Hollywood, Los Angeles is in the position it's in right now because we have failed to cultivate and truly invest in the community. And what you're seeing is with going overseas to cut down on production budgets, with a lot of these productions now going international and even leaving not only LA, but the United States, and the way in which companies are trying to reconfigure and figure out a new system that's going to help their bottom line. We are abandoning the connection and the tissue that brings us together as a people by way of that community, which is why we started the M250 campaign. And we went to some of the top leaders in the industry to say to them, let us not forget, even in light of the challenges and how the industry is evolving, how important the foundation of LA is as it relates to community and having platforms that are amplifying and providing independent artists with the ability to expose their work. Because if we only continue to invest in the top 1%, if we're only going to certain platforms, then we are part of the problem rather than the solution.
Again, say it again for the people in the back. I mean, it's true. And I there's so much to unpack there, more than we have time to today, because we do have to get to some other questions. But I do want to say this. So many of us get to a place in a space where we worship celebrity. We worship virality. We worship the seenness of it all. And we forget that all of that started with a seed somewhere, right? And so I thank you, and we thank you for being good ground for the seeds that have dropped in your space. And it's not just about the viral moments, it's about the people and the community. You know, I appreciate that even with the celebrity status that happens at Micheaux, every screening doesn't feel like a commercial. Every moment doesn't feel like a sponsored opportunity versus y'all come get this information, but it's also going to be a good time. Every moment, because there's some places and spaces, everything is, and I understand, like, get your money, honey. I get it. But when everything is presented as sponsored by, in part with, associated with, this, it doesn't feel as genuine sometimes. And it also doesn't land as personal. It doesn't feel as for me versus for it.
Mm-hmm.
Micheaux feels for me, not just for it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's fly enough that it is for it, but it's personal enough and attainable and reachable and touchable and tangible enough that it is for us, the filmmaker, trying to be part of the it of it all. And we leave Micheaux realizing that we are the it.
Can we pass the collection plate? Can we pass the collection plate? But it's so true, and it goes back to what I said earlier. When you go, it feels like family. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't feel scripted, although it is,
it's organized.
Yeah, you know, I'm sorry, wrong word, not scripted, organized. It's not scripted, it's organized, which is absolutely amazing. And you definitely have to have that in order to have something as flawless as you guys put on. Now, a lot of people are probably going to listen to this and say, why do they keep saying these things?
Because we've been there and we know.
There you go. Because,
and also, can we just, you said something that I want, because, you know, the internet is not always a nice place, even when, you know, it is not to say that these two young people do not see each year, and I'm sure knowing who they are in corporate mind and in just business mind, there's a debrief of whatever wasn't infallible, wasn't perfect, wasn't whatever. They send a survey out to the attendees as well. And so we also have to remember that you got to show up with, like I said with Courtney, a modicum of grace for just life, right? Flexibility for the fact that something this large will have hiccups. You don't have to make it a cough. Like, it's cool. Work with the flow, with the things and the people, because y'all don't give Tribeca these problems. Y'all don't give Sundance the problems when you can't get into something. You find the next thing, right? So we also have to show up with the same grace that we give to these other legacy spaces.
That's good.
And not think that it is that because we are like gushing over them because we love it, that it's perfect. It's perfect for us, the filmmaker. It may not be perfect every time because what the hell is, right? So I want to make sure that we encourage our audience to also show up with grace and show up with flexibility and show up with come in the house, take your shoes off and act right. And then you can have a good time.
Say it again, Okema.
Come in the house, take your shoes off and act right.
Yeah.
Don't come in here, you know what I mean? And then, you know, unfortunately, you also have filmmakers that have done well. And so they come in with this weird air of treat me, that everybody gets treated well. But if you wanted the VIP package and you didn't buy it, then you also have to own what you came with.
I'll
like
put the VIP ticket.
Right. Come in the house, take your shoes off, act right. And if you didn't bring a housewarming gift, i.e. the VIP package, just be glad you got a meal. Okay.
Yeah, don't be mad at me because I'm walking past you in the line because
maybe I paid for that.
I bought the VIP.
I paid for that. I paid. It's like when you go to Great Adventures, right? You pay to skip the line, but you get to skip the line past. The people in the line can't be mad because you skipped the line. You paid for that.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
Let's talk about the world as it is now. Okema wrote this question down, but I want to ask it.
You go ahead, boo.
At a time when being Black, queer, or a person of color is seen as a dangerous thing to some, how are this year's stories exhibiting the strength and power of us instead? Anybody can take that one.
Yeah, that's it's such a great question, and I loved it when I saw it. And I think it's so important to highlight. I think sometimes the greatest forms of resistance is just being proudly and loudly. And I think that a lot of the films that we have this year are just, they're loud, they're proud, they're bold, they're not afraid to critique, they're not afraid to say, hey, this is what life is like right now. Life should not be like this right now. And I think that that's one of the beauties of indie film that you don't always get to see, or at least not as often in mainstream media. You get to see the stories from people who usually don't get to have a voice. And that is a lot of what we're seeing in our lineup. We're seeing projects. One of my favorite projects I was just talking about earlier today with one of our team members is about a young gay man growing up in the Middle East. And that's not a story you see every day.
No.
And part of his director's statement and what made it stand out so much, besides the fact that it's just a well done film, but his director's statement mentioned that the first time he saw a mention of someone with his same identity was during the shooting that took place in Orlando. And he didn't want that to be the only representation of a gay Middle Eastern man. And so he made his film to showcase that and represent himself. And that just makes me think, how many more stories and intersections do we miss because people don't have the platforms to show those stories? And so that's really what we do. And that's, I think, that's part of the fight. It's part of the resistance, and it's part of the strength of just showcasing who you are, being loud and proud about that, and being okay with saying, hey, I haven't seen anyone who looks like me be represented on screen. So I'm going to make that film and I'm going to tell that story. And there will be people who resonate with it.
That's good.
Wow.
That's good. That was well said. Drops mic.
But in that same vein, I want to ask, I love that it's, this queer Middle Eastern man. What do you say to the people that are like, oh, I thought Micheaux was a Black film festival? Can we address this and get the people together?
Well, I would tell you that it is a Black film festival, but it's also a festival that allows others from around the world to submit and also be a part of the experience.
I love that. And I asked the question because I know that, like, last year, the murmurs were, oh, there was a lot of white people that won awards. Well, they did films and they were in the festival and they had won. And
let's also talk about they were the ones who showed up to the award ceremony.
Ooh.
So it looked a certain way, even though that may not be the full picture.
Ooh.
Now we can really drop the mic.
Hold up. Since we doing, hey, like, look,
we just gonna put it out in the lotto. You got to be in it to win it, huh? Okay,
but you know what?
Got it. No, and here's the thing. I know y'all don't shy away from the noise, right? And also, some people want to know, and so I would be remiss to have been in that room, seen it happen, heard rumblings, and had my own thoughts, and be like, okay, what does this mean? But you're right. And it's so funny because I'm presently writing an award show for a company it's an annual award show that happens every year, whatever. And we're going through like our honorees, and several people have not accepted or dropped out. And I said, it's so funny that everybody talks about how we don't give ourselves, but then when it's up, like everybody shows up for, the VMAs and everybody shows up for the Oscars but baby, y'all mad that like the BET Awards and Soul Train are indefinitely suspended, but y'all don't come.
Yep.
Y'all don't come. Once you get to a certain place in your career, all of a sudden you're too good for the Black thing.
Until you hit a snag.
Until you need the community to roll you back and support you.
Snag. Then my mama grew up in a Black church. See,
Right. I don't want to know how many Black friends you have.
Right.
That's not what we talk about, right? So no, I'm glad that you said it. So we have to remember that this is a space where we are safe and secure to be all who we are, Black, queer, whatever. But we also have to remember that everybody talks about building your own table, and that's great, and we have. However, my neighbor's table is full of food I don't have access to, so I might go over there and make a plate and bring some home. Right? And that's okay too. Because if you're smart, you're going to be at your table, but you're going to make sure that you visit a couple others, because like maybe they got a Danish you ain't got. Maybe somebody's bubby made some latkes and you like those. Maybe, you know what I mean? So that also gives a nice diversity to, as a viewer, as an audience member. Because you know how much I've learned from other cultures, etc., at festivals, because I've watched a film by somebody that I would not have normally gone into a festival to watch a film by. Like I wouldn't go to this place or to, you know what I mean? Like I've never been to like the Jewish whatever film festival, but I've seen some beautiful work from some Jewish people, some Palestinian people. I would never go to those places myself innately, but if they're in the space that I'm in, and I remember that once upon a time, Italians and Irish were people of color too, in this country.
Yeah. But you know what, Courtney, you said something interesting really quickly. The fact that you had a gentleman from the Middle East make a gay film.
Because baby, that's against everything
that's exactly. Just by itself, just by existing.
The bravery. Just the bravery to make it.
Yep.
And if you go back to the history of Micheaux would take his films and screen them in predominantly white theaters. And he did it because he wanted to get outside of the traditional echo chamber and system that we all know what we're going through. The film is for us, but it really is also to educate them. And it's for them to understand and to see and to bridge the gaps between the communities, between the cultures. They want to, if you really think about it, the United States of America doesn't exist. This is a divided country.
Since day one.
We are divided across how many lines? Race, money, right? Sheer economics, where do you live, geography. So if there's ever a platform to be created in the name of Micheaux, that platform needs to unify the people, not continuously keep us divided and separated in our own little fragment worlds. And what better way to do it than through film?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
it.
And Okema, you said,
no, I'm saying, like, as someone who initially sat there and had to check herself, because I was like, wow, and then I was like, wait, but they gotta accept in the name of the Black people. That's not okay.
And I mean, you said something so good too, just about being able to see those different perspectives. I think especially in this time where Noel mentioned the word echo chambers, everyone's in their individual echo chambers. Thought is not really being challenged enough. And so I think that when you have a festival like ours that is 100% a Black festival and 100% a multicultural festival, it's important to be able to see those different perspectives and learn something where you can see, like, oh, I never thought about it that way. Or there's another film that we have called I Wish I Were Pretty. And it's about a Asian woman who it's a thing in their community about having mono eyelids. I had no idea that was even a thing. As cultured and as red as I am, I had no idea until I watched that film. So it's just like it broadens your horizons, it broadens your world to be able to have access to perspectives from other cultures, other people, other ages, other ethnicities, genders, all these different types of groups. And I think that with us being in entertainment, we are the ones who have to kind of take that mantle of explaining and exploring why diversity is so important, not only to keep our country united and together, but also just to progress that independent thought in general. And that's what film festivals are for.
That part.
Yeah. And you know what, Noel, I want to go back to when you put out the beacon call to established Black actors and you didn't hear anything, and the fact that you guys were, negotiating and, things falling through and hearing no's. And as we're sitting here talking, the thing that kept popping into my head was there is a reason they're cutting money. There is a reason they're cutting funding. There is a reason that they're pressuring these companies to not sponsor anything with people of color. And it's exactly what you guys are talking about. The one way to keep people separated is to take certain things away. Just like you just said, Courtney, if you had never seen that film about the Asian woman with the eye, you don't know. And they love to keep us in the dark. So I say to anyone out there listening now or in the future, if you have something on your heart, create it, because that is the one thing that they want you to not do. They want you to sit on it, because as you said, we have more things in common than not. If we have children, we want our children to grow up to be safe and happy. We want to thrive. We want to fall in love. We want to have a family. That's not a color issue. That's a human thing. So having a festival like Micheaux and having a gay Middle Eastern film, having an Asian film where they're talking about their culture and the things that they go through in their culture, having white filmmakers win awards, that's the thing that they don't like. Because what's happening, as you said earlier, Noel, what's happening? We're coming together. We're developing an understanding, and we're saying, you know what? Before I watched that movie, I thought one way about, and I'm going to just go there, you people. But now that I've been able to sit here and listen, I have a better understanding. And with understanding comes, a breakthrough, because you're like, you know what, they're not as bad as I thought. So, I just wanted to share that with anyone.
Or you realize that somebody is actually not ish, and then you can just forward move, right? Because that's the other piece, right? Like, you can understand that I really take you in and you're phenomenal, and I misjudged or I prejudged or I had preconceived notions that were painted onto my, psyche because of society, my mama, whatever. And you're amazing. And then there's unfortunately a group, and baby, it's some Black people too, who just show up and you be like, you the one my mama was telling you, I was warned about. Okay, because the you people is for you people, not you people. But you people that don't know how to think critically, that don't know how to leave an open mind for other races, religions, stories. I'll never forget, I wrote this queer comedy and I had a friend of mine read it, and she's very conservative, very, very religious, very conservative. And she was like, well, it's a lot for me, but it's special for who you wrote it for. That's probably that part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you can do that and say it's not my cup of tea, but enjoy that cup of coffee, you won.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do we watch things from our own people that we'd be like, not my thing, but it was good though. Production value was great. You could hear it, you could see it. Wasn't no flashes in the film. Like
color correction was nice.
Hear it, you can see it. Oh my gosh,
baby, because you know now you guys watch films, you know.
Well,
no, I know.
It's real. And it goes again, if you go back to the history of Micheaux, he specifically directed, wrote, and produced Within Our Gates to challenge people's perspective after D.W. Griffin came out with Birth of a Nation, which was a completely racist, stereotypical, and stigmatized film specifically about Black people. So what you even just said there, Okema, is being able to provide a counter thought and viewpoint to art so that you don't continue to only look at things that affirm your bias. We're seeing that from the algorithm. That's all the algorithm does is affirm what we want to see. That's the problem in it.
Yeah.
So we have to use art. We have to use culture. We have to use the mediums, and most important, the platforms that are amplifying messages to break up the same noise that people are enchanted and dissatisfied with.
Come on, enchanted. Thank you for being the and in a world that only values or.
You know what?
That's good.
Election plate, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what?
That's good.
With everything we're talking about, one question that I wanted to talk to you guys, or one question that I wanted to ask, and we mentioned it earlier, but I wanted to do a deeper dive. The spirit of the festival.
Because the joy be high. Oh, the joy be high.
Because it feels like a family reunion, and we touched on it. But when you guys started this, was that the intention, or did it just work out that way? The feeling you get when you come to Micheaux, was that intentional?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was a little bit of both, honestly. It was intentional, and it also worked out that way because it was intentional. I think, when we first started, it was just a small group of friends that helped us put the whole thing together. So when you start something that way, it has no choice but to already kind of feel like family and community just off general principle. And then, one of the other things you guys mentioned is just how there always feels to be that personal touch. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves on as a festival is, having that personal touch. We remember almost every filmmaker, every film that has ever screened with us ever. And I think that's one of the things that you aren't able to get at every event, every festival. And if we don't remember you, God forbid, we love to see you. Oh, it's so good to see you again. You know what I'm saying? That's something where I think that when you lead with community, it has no choice but to feel like community. And that's one of the things where, we call Noel, I call him Bishop Braham.
Yes, listen.
That's
listen. Is anybody gonna preach you down?
Exactly. It's this is we call it a creative sanctuary, because that is truly what it is and what it feels like. It feels like church. It feels like home. It feels like family. And that's the whole point.
I think to follow up to what Court said, we really pray for and over our filmmakers. We really ask God to cover them. We know how important not only the art is, but the impact of the art. And we recognize that having a platform like this where we can concentrate and bring together so many creative and powerful and unique and just weird and eccentric and eclectic individuals. Think about it, to really get all those individuals under one roof and to have a concentrated experience and a goal of whether it's going to this networking event or looking for this particular project or just wanting to watch a film and reflect and talk about it. That is a life-changing potentially experience that you can have. That is something that not only transcends art, but life in and of itself. And I know because of our prayers and because we've asked God, God, bless this platform. Be a part of it, Lord. Come in here, speak to your people, and guide your sheep the way in which you want them to be guided. That has, without a doubt, because there's no one that will step through the Micheaux Film Festival and not experience God. So everything you all are saying, not to say God ain't everywhere else, right? Of course, he's omnipresent. But when you come through our doors, the feeling of love, the connectiveness, the community is all rooted within God. And that's what even those who are atheists or those people come up to me, man, I don't even believe in God. I've seen some of y'all stuff, but there's just something different than I can't explain. Man,
That's called the spirit, ladies and gentlemen.
But I mean, you guys, you know, when you show up with the intention to represent agape, to represent Rhema, to represent, you know what I mean? Like those are things that don't have to be understood from a theological place, because the spirit knows what it knows. Even if your brain can't tell you some things, your spirit knows what it knows. So, you know, you walked in just expecting a film festival. All of a sudden, even if you are not doing the electric slide, your spirit in there talk about, and now you try and figure out what's happening in here. So again, I say good ground. You guys continue to be good ground.
And you know what's interesting?
I love it.
You may not believe in God, but God believes in you. So when you walk through and you like, well, what's that all? What's going on? I don't even know what's going on. Oh, you may not believe in God, but God believes in you.
You'll catch up.
Created
You'll
you.
catch up eventually.
Now, we're doing a little church right now, but that's the way that works. You ain't got to believe in God. He believes enough in you for the both of y'all. Yes. So when you walk around his festival saying, you know what, Noel, Mr. Braham, I don't know what that is. I'm not a believer, but there's something tingling. Hey, that's the spirit moving through you and you don't even know it. And you may not believe now, but something may shift when you leave. Yes. And have you pick the word up. So that's the beauty of your guys' festival.
Or at the very least, have you be a better person.
Absolutely.
Like at the very least, have you talk to the person next to you and just say hello while you wait for the panel to start. Have you, pay it forward and buy your popcorn at the concession and say, you know what, I got a little extra. You getting something? I got it. Because those are also the little things that happen at Micheaux. You know how many times just little, you'll be trying to get into something and there's like one seat left and somebody's like, no one's sitting here. And you get to sit down. Like that also is God. It's not always burning bushes and talking rams. Like sometimes it's somebody that you don't know giving you a seat.
That part.
Yeah. Right? Like that's all of that is good. And like, so as we're talking about all of the joy and all of the things, let's talk about some of the programming. Because programming, like the films make a film festival, but programming's elevate a film festival. Programming elevates a festival. And you guys have some new things happening this season. You guys are returning some things this season. Let's talk about it. New things I know that are coming up are the climate pitch. I'm super excited. Me and Eunice are working on our stuff. But the climate pitch is new this year. The addition of podcasts, visual podcasts is new this year, which I love. And then returning are the panels, the mixers. And I tell everybody, just book a flight for the 27th because you don't want to miss the ending party. Like you don't want to miss the closing night celebration. Like you will be mad at yourself. The FOMO will be high, right? So let's talk a little bit about what we can expect at this year's festival. New things, returning things, surprises. What's going on?
Noel, you want to take that or you want me to take it?
You can go ahead and I'll
okay.
You.
So I mean, Okema, like you said, tons and tons of amazing indie films, both shorts, features, web series. We have a little bit of everything for everyone: comedy, drama, sci-fi, thriller, horror, animation, so much. And just some really, really great storytelling overall. It's been such a pleasure to program the festival this year. And like you mentioned, it's kind of like some of the new additions. So podcasts, we used to, we've always had our submissions open for podcasts, but this is the first year that we're doing the visual podcast, as you mentioned. And I think podcasts are so interesting. Like for me, I come from a talk show background. I used to work in unscripted for almost 10 years. And I feel like podcasts are that next frontier of talk shows, and everyone has a podcast. We're on a podcast right now. So we just felt it's important to include, just kind of that next frontier of media and entertainment. And also just take it seriously because, it is the next frontier. And I think there are stories that are to be told with that as well. And then as far as like some of our panels, one of my favorite parts of the festival is that we have such informative and educational panels. We have workshops and master classes as well. So this year we have a actors workshop. Last year we had it with Chris Green. He did it virtually for us. And this year we have him in the building, in the flesh. So actors will be able to really hone their toolkit, hone their craft. We have a career retrospective and a separate masterclass with Kanigra Dion, who is a social media YouTube phenomenon. The way she's been able to grow her brand, and she was at the first year of the festival as well, just as an attendee, as a friend. And now she's built this entire YouTube empire, and is coming back to Micheaux to give back tips to our audience and our filmmakers of how you can grow your brand really in just a few short years. In addition to another state of the industry address, we did this last year, which, at this point, the industry is just a little crazy and it changes on a whim. And we're doing our part to keep filmmakers updated and informed about what that looks like and how you can try to pivot. And then one of my favorites, because Noel and I are in post on our feature film, we're doing another panel about how to best position your film when it comes to the marketing stage. That's something that indie filmmakers sometimes don't always put ahead when they should. So we're doing our part to show you guys how can you start thinking from the very beginning, from pre-production, from development, thinking about your marketing plan, your rollout, and your distribution plan. So those are a few of the highlights. I'll let Noel take it from there.
Yeah, she covered a lot of it for sure. She covered a lot. I'm really excited about the Gold Young Hollywood celebration, which is happening on Saturday, October 25th. Not just because it is going to be a mixer/party, but it's going to give those an opportunity to connect with a lot of established artists. We definitely have some surprises and things we can't talk about right now, but we will soon announce. There are going to be some really powerful people in the building that can help not only your own network, but also those who might be connected to you, depending on what some of your goals are. One of the podcasts that we're actually installing at the festival is the Screenwriters Rant Room, too, with Hilliard Guest. He's coming on with one of our alumni, Denzel Whitaker, in addition to Simone Harris, who is at Proximity Media with Ryan Coogler, Pamela Azimi Andrew, who's a veteran casting director, writer, and producer, in addition to other special guests as well.
I'm not your friend because that happens during my block, so I'm gonna miss it.
Oh, man. Well, we're recording them though, so you will be able to check them out digitally on a rewind that we'll also send out to guests through Micheaux Plus soon. So stay tapped in for that because we will be uploading it to our virtual platform, which also will be integrating as well. Not only will the festival be physical, but you can check out some of your favorite screenings and panels as well that are happening on our virtual platform, which will be at MicheauxFilmFest.com. And that's going to be dope. We also are doing a panel about animation and art. So we'll be bringing in Peter Hastings, Neil Wade, and then one of our alumni, C. Craig. So the knowledge and the educational opportunity is not going to be fluffy by any means. It's going to give speakers and also guests the ability to walk away with tangible information and insight that's really going to help out their development no matter what stage they're at. Sometimes people feel like, okay, well, I might be a 15-year vet or 20-year vet. I don't need to necessarily go to something about breaking into one particular area or another, when we can always sharpen our skills, sharpen our tools. And we're always students at this game because, you got to continue to grow through the process.
I'm excited. I was, and not just because we're in it, but the climate one was really interesting because what I find is you don't find a lot of festivals of color or festivals that cater to filmmakers of color speaking about climate change and climate issues. So I was excited that you guys found that to be important enough to create a whole program around it, because we don't realize that, you know, while we are in a space where our births are declining, but so is our health. And a lot of that is due to our climate situation, our mental health, our physical health, our economic health. The climate impacts all of it.
Yeah.
So I really give you guys kudos for also going into spaces that are not usually known or understood or said out loud in our communities, because a lot of people are forced to stay where they are and endure the impact of climate issue and environmental issue. So kudos.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That,
You know,
that is amazing. No, I'm just saying that's amazing.
thank you. And we'll tell you all, you know, this year for sure has been one of the most challenging years that we've faced. And it's connected to why we decided with the theme of warriors, even internally, some of the decisions that we had to make. And also looking at some of our long-term goals and how we want to expand and grow even bigger to make bigger impact. But in our case, all of our corporate sponsors walked away from us, every single one. And we want to continue to integrate even more unique and powerful programming, which is why the M250 campaign is so important. And one of the things that we even told to our filmmakers at our mixer, we said them, remember that the impact in you all sowing seeds now is not even just for your own projects, but it's for the filmmaker and the artist who will come after you. The filmmaker right now sleeping in their car, the writer right now just looking for a gig or an opportunity, the producer who doesn't know and doesn't have the network connections to maybe get the little bit of financing that they have. If we don't rely upon each other, then what are we truly relying upon? Which is once again going back to why this community is so important, not just as we grow and develop, but most importantly, as we give back to each other and the platform that's helping us through that growth and development. So if you go to MicheauxFilmFestival.com, you can check out the M250, you can buy a pass, you can buy a ticket, you can donate, because we're focused on the people. The Micheaux Film Festival is the People's Film Festival, and the People's Film Festival is the Micheaux Film Festival. So every sponsor that walked away, that's fine. Bye. Because we're going to rely upon the same people that helped us get here in the first place.
And then given, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll say my
given
thing.
Where many people that want to support are, because they are also affected by not having, what are some additional things that people can do that may not be able to fiscally help, but to socially support?
Get on social media. Talk about how excited you are to attend the Micheaux Film Festival. Reshare some of the content that we've been putting out. Comment, post about it. You know, not only, you know, get out there and put it on social, but as you're talking to your friends, let them know about Micheaux and what Courtney, Noel, and the entire community is putting on to help each other, and how important it is if there's ever a time, especially with AI, especially with the political environment, especially with people being uncertain. One thing we need to be sure about is how we have to be there for each other. Everything else can be what it is. But if there's one thing we got to be locked in on, is making sure that we're giving back to the same people that we're relying on as well.
Yeah, wow. And I just want to take license here and change one of the words that Noel said. He said donate. I'm going to push back on that and ask you guys to do me a favor. You're not donating, you're investing. This is an investment. Okay. We always talk about what Black people don't have, and we don't have seats at the table, and we don't have this. And one of the ways that you, as a filmmaker or someone in this film community, one of the things that you can do is invest. Because see, when you donate, you just donate and it goes away, right?
You set it and
But
forget
when
it.
you invest, right? But when you invest, that's a recurring thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know that your investment is going towards building a thing. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with donating, because me and my wife do it all the time. But to me, investing means you're building into something. You're building equity
Right.
in something,
and your
right?
ROI is you.
Absolutely. So you may not be able to go to Micheaux next year, but you know what? When you go online, you'll look and see the amazing things that Courtney and Noel are doing, and you say, "Look at my investment paying off."
Absolutely.
That's
And
my
that's the other,
investment paying off.
I love that. I love that, Floyd, because we have to remember that unlike when it has to do with the SEC and all these other things, your investment here is bigger than your takeaway. If we're talking about community and we're talking about building and we're talking about what we can help happen with the, you know, the world can be on fire, but if we are a tranquil pool of water for each other, right? That takes understanding that your ROI is not always just for you or for you at all. That's why they say when you give with a heart to just give, because you get it back, but it may not be you getting it back. But this community needs you. You know what I mean? As someone who I haven't had a network gig since November 2023. Okay? It's been rough. But I know where I need to put my money even when I don't have much. I knew I needed to be there. I knew that I wanted to be there. Not just because I have to be there, but because it means something to me to be there. Right? And so these are the times where we have to be bigger than who we think we are just because we have a title or a job. Because that's the other thing. We get so wrapped up in I'm this at this company. I'm the blah, blah, blah at such and such. And then when these things like this industry happen, and now you're no longer the blah, blah, blah at such and such, you're still somebody. You still are something. You are bigger than your title or your company or your letterhead, right? So investing here is a reminder for you and those behind you and beside you that we are bigger than the companies that we thought made us. We are bigger than the titles that we thought gave us all this clout that don't exist anymore for many of us, right? This is the place where the clout is happening, but it's not clout, it's love and it's growth. And that's kind of bigger than any bunch of likes or reposts. Personally, save your likes and repost for this stuff. Tell people to watch this down so they can see all that these young people have for y'all young people. And I say young people because baby, ain't none of us in crutches yet. Right? So these are the things that we have to do. We have to show up. We have to share. We have to be kind. We have to be patient. Pack your patience. When you come to Micheaux, pack your joy, but pack your patience. There's a lot of people. A lot of people. They moving a lot of people at one time in 10 different places.
It is. And
right?
we're not working with the same kind of support that even our counterparts are, and they still run into problems.
Baby, because your counterparts, never mind. Not all, but some. But anyway, that's not, we're here to talk about good things. We're here to talk about the good things that y'all are doing. I mean, I know that we're wrapping up soon, but I would like to ask you guys, for the person that couldn't make the festival and they submitted and they didn't get in, what is your advice to the filmmaker that is disappointed because maybe they didn't get in or they couldn't get out to the fest? What is your encouragement to them to keep going? Because I think that's really important. When you run a festival, it's usually about all the people that are going to be there. But I appreciate you too, because you often talk about the people that are not there.
It's a great question. I think, I hate the answer of just keep creating, but like, honestly, a lot of times people are afraid to start. And then once they do start and they might not get the reaction that they wanted, they just walk away and say, oh, this wasn't meant for me. But sometimes, getting the reaction you want comes from honing your skill, perfecting your craft, and creating a great product. And at the end of the day, you can't get better if you never start. So I think that a lot of times just keep working on your craft and, take advantage of some of the workshops and panels and virtual offerings that we do have, because at the end of the day, we want to create better filmmakers. We want to create better business people who work in the entertainment industry. And a lot of the educational information that we give can be directly, correlated to how to make your submission stand out, how to make a film that is even better quality of what it was previously, how to write a story that is going to resonate with more than just you and your initial audience. So I think a lot of it is just like, continue to study, continue to be a student of the craft. Not everyone gets it right the first time. And I think that's okay. If everyone got it right the first time, everyone would be doing it. So yeah, I think that would be my advice.
What about you, Noel?
That's good. It's funny. Last week I shared a story with our audience, and I'll talk about it right now. There was this famous general who landed on an opposing force's shores, and the general gets out of the boats with her men and women, and they come up to the general and they say, "General, what do we do in a situation where we need to exit and retreat?" The general looks at the soldiers, then turns to one of her closest confidants and then says to that confidant, "Burn every single boat." The confidant follows the general's orders. She turns back to the soldiers, who are now in uproar about, "Why would you burn every single boat? General, what are you thinking? What are you doing?" And the general responds and says, "Because there won't be a return. We either win or we don't go back home." And for anyone who's ever been denied, I would say to you, make sure that you continue to fortify your mindset and your thought process of how you're approaching this game, because whether you got rejected from Micheaux or whoever, we're all going to face no's. We're all going to face barriers. We're all going to face rejections. But if we have a mindset that I'm not going to return unless I win, then there's no way you will ever fail in anything that you're doing. If you do not stop, you will not fail. And I think we actually said this ironically about a year ago. I think I said the same thing, but I'll harp on it because we've had filmmakers who submitted to us. They've been rejected. They came back again. They've been rejected. They came back again. They've been rejected. And then they got in their fourth time. There've been other case stories and situations where prolific filmmakers who've submitted to other festivals have been rejected, like Ava DuVernay eventually got into the fest. The project blew her career up or gave her even more exposure. So no's and the rejections and being told go this way as opposed to this way, that's all a part of the game and the development process. You have to understand that that's actually second nature to what it is that we're doing in Hollywood in general. However, if you have the mindset that I'm going to burn every single boat, I'm going to burn the failure, I'm going to burn the self-doubt, I'm going to burn the depression, I'm going to burn the I'll never make it, I'm going to burn the self-pity, and you take on that mindset that I will win no matter what happens, you will never fail. Same idea with Micheaux.
Yeah, that's amazing. And one of the greatest actors out there, Sylvester Stallone, it is what it is. He said something very interesting years ago. He said the most talented actors are not in Hollywood. He said the most persistent actors are in Hollywood. Because if you're talented but you're not persistent, you sitting home watching him on television. But the most persistent actors or filmmakers make it. And I know that sounds trite. Oh,
No, it doesn't. It sounds
to some people it does. Oh, y'all keep saying it, y'all keep saying that. Yeah, but here's the thing with what Noel said, and
they keep saying it for a reason.
Right. But here's the thing. When you burn those ships, you take away one option, but then you give yourself 10. Because it forces you to now you got to think outside the box. Because if I look behind me, the ships are burning. Can't go back home. So now I look at the terrain in front of me. How can I make this terrain advantageous to what I'm doing right now?
With what I know and then learning what I need to know.
Bam.
Because people come, if you come back with the same energy or the same production level or the same, then you're not going to, then the rejection is going to be consistent because of you.
Yeah, got to be willing to grow.
Let's remember to bring with our persistence the idea that we still should be getting that there's improvement. Because to be persistent in the same thing the same way is simple. That's right up there with crazy, right? That's right up there with the definition of crazy.
Yep.
But if you're persistent and you're open to learning and you understand that you have to, oh, well, I don't have this. So then what is the best thing you can make with the resources you have? And then how can you laterally look to your left and right to find the resources you need?
Yes.
But you only going to get that if your persistence is equivalent to your integrity. Because see, the problem is folks show up and they not good people and then want all the help in the world and don't nobody want to spend 16 hours with you. Are you somebody that somebody wants to spend 12 to 16 hours with? Are you somebody that someone wants to literally be on a project forever with? Because don't act like I'm still doing stuff for Chocolate with Sprinkles. We shot that in 2022,
Wow.
2023. When you, especially if you think that you're a producer, you're on that project, Cardi B voice forever. Because you're gonna need stuff. They're gonna need you all the time.
You sound like Andre 3000.
Baby, listen. So you have to bring your persistence, your consistency, your ability to improve, but also your integrity. Because baby, your charisma and even your talent will get you to lofty places that only your integrity will maintain.
That's so real.
As did and all the rest of it.
That's so real.
Yeah.
Micheaux said it best in his quote when he said that there is no barrier to success which diligence and perseverance cannot hurdle. And then he goes on to say, our self-image is so powerful, it becomes our destiny.
I love it.
That's amazing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been absolutely amazing as always. It was so nice having Courtney and Noel back on the show. I was just so excited when they said they could come back on, and especially the time frame, because they rocking and rolling. Time is tight.
I take this for granted,
and we are so thankful that you guys took an hour out of what I know. I used to run a film festival. It is no joke. So the fact that you guys, agreed to sit down with us, as Okema said, we do not take this lightly. We are so excited. I can't wait to see you guys out in LA. Still waiting on my email. So
back your patience. Did we just talk about that?
Yeah. Because
what email is that? You haven't gotten it?
I got one, but I'm waiting on another one.
Yeah,
I want to be able to do my research for the people, because y'all know I'm not gonna come half.
He's gonna come with 50-11 questions and ask and have time for 4.
Not doing it.
Well,
but
get ready, because we got a special one in mind for you too.
You know what? Wherever
is working with us, so
wherever you guys need me, and I've been emailing Courtney like crazy, and I was like, I gotta stop emailing Courtney. But just let me say this: I'm there to be of service. So wherever you guys need me, that's where I fit in. Where I fit in is where you guys say, Floyd, this is where we need you. That's where I'm fitting in. Because I'll be out there on the 21st. I'm actually coming out early. I'll be there for 7 days.
Love it.
Yeah, I'll be there from the 21st through the 27th. So if you guys need me for anything, just let me know. But again, guys, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on and spend with myself and Okema. But before we leave, where can people find you? Where can they buy festival tickets? Or where can they invest in Micheaux if they can't make it this year? Or what you can do is buy a ticket for someone who may not be able to buy one for themselves. So where can you give us that information?
Yeah, MicheauxFilmFest.com. That actually has all of the things you just said. You can buy your passes there. You can donate there. You can subscribe to our newsletter so you know what else is coming down the pipeline before, during, and after the festival. Noel, anything I'm missing?
Follow us on all platforms as well, on social media. The M250 campaign is also still happening. We are looking to raise $250,000 with the goal of expanding our programming. We want to do more, and we know the people will provide us with the resources in order to get there. And then don't forget as well that the regular deadline for passes did just pass. We have another one coming up that we're going to send out in our email blast. So be sure to subscribe to our newsletter on MicheauxFilmFest.com as well. And it's going to be a beautiful year, y'all. So if you ain't there,
either virtually
Missing
or
out.
oh, and can
Missing
I say,
out.
filmmakers, let's not forget that they have a beautiful bundle opportunity for filmmakers. And if you only got 2, and you know your film friend is also screening and they only need 3, y'all better look to your left, to look to your right, and make it happen with these discounts. Because baby, if we talk about needing some help,
That part.
this is what community is for.
Right.
Yeah.
This is what, get those tickets sold, but also help yourself. Right.
You can even go to your boss and then explain to them why the Micheaux Film Festival is impactful to their job, and then have your boss or company pay for the festival for you to attend.
Right. Listen,
Get
when y'all
creative.
go to these galas, y'all get your bosses to buy a table. Buy a table.
Yeah. Get
Buy a
creative.
table.
Get creative. Get creative.
That part.
And make sure you guys are following Noel Braham, Braham, on all social media platforms, and Courtney L Branch, Branch. Make sure you're following them on Threads, Instagram, Facebook, so you can keep up, because Noel dropped the video the other night where he's sitting on the couch. And he never finishes watching the movie. And my wife is like, yo, that's you every night when I go to bed. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You still love me. But make sure you're following them on all social media platforms. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just say, and we're running a little over, but I just need to stress this. If you are attending the festival, be very strategic when you get there. Please.
Plan.
If you go to these panels, bring a pen and a pad, because the things that you're going to learn at these panels would be something that you would pay hundreds of dollars to learn. And although you did buy a pass, the value that you're going to get far outweighs whatever you pay for that pass. Trust me, the fact that you're going to be listening to Hilliard Guest,
who we've had on the show several times.
Listen,
y'all know he's about it.
Look. That brother
Denzel
is
Whitaker.
absolutely, oh my goodness.
We've seen, listen, his film is, so we are so proud. That's the other thing. We've been talking about the fest. But before we sign off, I just want to say we are so proud of the 2 of you. We are so proud of how you show up for your community, of how you show up for yourselves, of how you show up for the work. We are so proud of the fact that you guys put us before yourselves at times as a community, that you guys never fail to fall on your sword if need be, to make adjustments, that there's accountability at the Micheaux Film Festival. Those are things that we don't always get in our spaces from our own families. So I just want to give you both your flowers while you are here to smell them, to know that you are seen, even when it doesn't feel like it. Even when it feels like everybody got an issue, everybody got a grievance and a gripe. I know that's just part of entrepreneurship. Y'all know that. But just know that behind all of that, there is a genuine pride that many of us have in you for building what you have built so quickly and so intentionally and so community focused. And we are proud of you, and we see you, and we thank you.
Yeah. And happy belated birthday, Courtney. Happy
belated Courtney.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you for those kind words, Okema. That really means a whole lot.
It does.
Really appreciate
it. We love y'all.
Yeah.
And we love y'all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So we will party together at the festival. Ladies and gentlemen, be sure to get your tickets. If you are not going to be in LA, be sure to check out their virtual offerings. If you are able to fiscally invest and help out, please see their festival, their site for the challenge and the information. If you can buy someone else a ticket, if you can cajole your boss into making it happen on that end. And if not, then the very least you could do is share both this interview so that you can get all their details and their mindsets, because you get a lot of that here. Make sure you share their posts, give some likes, give some shares, give some reposts. Now Instagram made it real easy with the little thing. You just and it is done. You ain't even got to go through what you used to have to go through to try to repost something. So please, give into the community so that you can be getting back something because you gave something.
Yeah.
So and let me just say thank you, because what you all have created with this platform and allowing us to come on here and to promote the fest when a lot of publications have either denied or they don't even respond or get back. For y'all to give us the opportunity to sit down and to promote us and to speak about us in the light that you all have, it means a lot to both Courtney and I and the entire festival community. And we are so grateful for y'all support behind the scenes, because y'all go so hard for us, you know, from buying passes to donating to just evangelizing on behalf of the festival and the impact it's made. Thank you for being you and for creating spaces like this for people like us to promote and push the initiatives that we're doing. I just want to give y'all them flowers right on back.
Thank you so much. And that means so much to me, because I'm an advocate for my people. And I'm an advocate for my people that are doing good things. I ain't going to advocate for everybody, but I'm always advocate for my people that are doing phenomenal things. And you two are doing some amazing things. We keep gushing, folks, but it is what it is. I'm sorry.
It's a love fest. Be all right. You're going to be all right.
You know, and if you attended the Micheaux Film Festival, you would know what this is. And why? I can't say that enough. You would really understand. And I'm not just saying that because they're on here. If you attended it, you would know why. So if you can make it this year, come out. If
before passes go off of sale.
Right. And if you can't make it this year, start planning now. Start planning right now for 2027, because 2027 going to be on and popping. I'm telling you, it's going to be on and popping. But you know,
new beginnings.
Yes, sir.
Well, we are thankful for you guys. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for your words. This had to be one of my favorites of late. So thank you. Yeah. And we can't wait to get it up on our, and it'll be on anywhere you get your podcasts. By the end of the week, it'll be on all of those platforms, your Spotify, your Apple Music, yada, yada. Yeah. So people can listen wherever they want to listen, wherever they get their podcast from. And then it'll also, of course, live on Floyd's page. And so, yeah. And we'll be sharing clips and cut-ups as well to help you guys, amplify, and we'll collab with you, and you can throw them out from this interview.
Yeah, I'll be doing that probably as soon as I get off. I'll be doing that. But ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much for joining myself, my amazing co-host Okema T Moore, the incomparable Courtney L Branch, and Bishop Noel Braham on the Micheaux Film Festival episode, because this has been absolutely amazing. Thank you guys so much for joining us on a conversation with. Have an absolutely phenomenal week. And if you're going to be at
Don't log off yet.
Oh, no. If you're going to be at Micheaux between the 23rd of October and the 27th, we will see you there. Please don't hesitate to come up to a brother and say hi. Love to see you. Make sure you are in the building. Can't wait to get my next sweatshirt. Bam! This will be number 3 for me.
Come on.
I'm going for the gold. But again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining myself, Okema T Moore, Courtney L Branch, and Noel Braham on a conversation with. And as always, I will end it like this: love it like a hobby and treat it like a business. Everyone have an absolutely amazing night. Peace.